Breaking news right now. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar has made a significant comment where he says the independence of judiciary is not some kind of impregnable cover against inquiry, investigation, probe. Article 142 has become a nuclear missile against democratic forces available to judiciary 24/7. He says we cannot have a situation where you direct the President of India, and on what basis? Consultation is not concurrence. Consultation is consultation. Now, this is what the Vice President has said on the second judge's case judgment. He's also questioning, saying that what happened to your basic structure doctrine in 1975? It is now over a month. Let the worm and skeletons be in public domain. This is what the Vice President also had to say with regards to Judge Yashwant Verma's cash case. Now, this is undoubtedly a big breaking news coming in. We'll stay with this news coming in right now with Vice President making his first comment about Justice Verma. Remember, there is an inquiry that is basically underway after cash was recovered from the residence of Justice Yashwant Verma. A big news breaking in right now. If we could put this on our screens of the Vice President's first comment as far as the cash that was recovered from Justice Verma's residence. If we can play out that soundbite of Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar. In fact, we can also try and go across to rhythm in a short while from now. Just for the first comment now coming in. This is undoubtedly the big statement that has been made by Jagdeep Dhankhar. People losing faith in the judiciary. He says that it's now over a month. Let the worms and skeletons be in public domain. The Constitution of India has accorded immunity from prosecution only to the Honorable President and the Honorable Governors, raising question about how this investigation has been delayed, dragging their feet on this entire matter with an inquiry that is still underway. Until date, we have no idea as to whether at all the money that was recovered from Justice Verma's residence, does it actually belong to him or not? There is absolutely no clarity really coming in on this entire matter. In fact, that's the first big breaking news coming in with regards to the Vice President making this statement while he was addressing the sixth batch of Rajya Sabha interns at the Vice President's enclave today. And when Jagdeep Dhankhar made this explosive comment about what was found. In fact, I'm just quoting from the statement that has been made, if that gives time to our desk to put out this soundbite of Jagdeep Dhankhar, because this is extremely crucial and significant as the Vice President has made this statement. He says, let me take incidents that are most recent. They are dominating our minds. An event happened on the night of 14th and 15th of March in New Delhi at the residence of a judge. For 7 days, no one knew about it. We have to ask questions to ourselves. Is the delay explainable, condonable? Does it not raise certain fundamental questions in an ordinary situation? The ordinary situations define the rule of law. Things would have been different. It was only on 21st of March disclosed by a newspaper that the people of the country was shocked as ever before. They were in some kind of limbo, deeply concerned and worried at this explosive, alarming expose. Therefore, fortunately, in public domain, we had input from authoritative source, the Supreme Court of India, and the input indicated culpability. Input did not lead to doubt that something was amiss, something required to be investigated. Now the nation waits with a bated breath. The nation is restive because one of our institutions to which people have looked up always with highest respect and deference was put in the dock. Let's now listen in to what the Vice President had to say. This is the first statement coming in.
तो क्या हम ऐसे हालात में आ गए कि समय के साथ ये बात चली जाएगी? लोगों के दिल पर इस घटना से गहरी चोट लगी है. लोगों का विश्वास डगमगा गया है. There was a survey conducted recently, and the survey indicated, it was by a media house, that public confidence in the institution of judiciary is dwindling. It is fundamental for success of democracy. That is three fundamental pillars: legislature, judiciary and executive are above board. They are transparent. They are accountable. They exemplify to the people at large the highest standards to be emulated, and therefore the principle of equality before law, has been disregarded. It is fundamental to our democracy. It is nectar of our democracy. Time for us to enforce it. तो क्या हम ऐसे हालात में आ गए कि समय के साथ ये बात चली जाएगी? लोगों के दिल पर इस घटना से गहरी चोट लगी है। लोगों का विश्वास डगमगा गया है। There was a survey conducted recently, and the survey indicated, it was by a media house, that public confidence in the institution of judiciary is dwindling. It is fundamental for success of democracy. That is three fundamental pillars: legislature, judiciary and executive are above board. They are transparent. They are accountable. They exemplify to the people at large the highest standards to be emulated, and therefore the principle of equality before law, has been disregarded. It is fundamental to our democracy. It is nectar of our democracy. Time for us to enforce it.
Well, in fact, this is undoubtedly a big statement that has been made by the Vice President of India, Jagdeep Dhankhar, on perhaps an issue that has been the biggest blot on Indian judiciary, when cash was allegedly received from the residence of a sitting judge, and the conduct of the Supreme Court, the collegium itself, came under massive scrutiny, keeping in mind that the matter hasn't been cleared by the Supreme Court as yet. Till date, there is no clarity as to whether at all this money actually belongs to Justice Verma, who exactly brought this money to the residence of a sitting judge, and more importantly, does it belong to any particular case. Sardar R.P. Singh of the BJP is joining us on this broadcast. It's a significant statement that has been made by the Vice President, Sardar R.P. Singh. Till date, there is zero clarity on what really has happened. Whom does this cash really belong to? There is absolutely no clarity. We'll try and connect with Sardar R.P. Singh of the BJP in a short while from now. But before that, let me just quickly take our viewers through the breaking news now. Again, a significant statement being made by the Vice President of India. This is cash that has been recovered from the residence of Yashwant Verma, Justice Yashwant Verma. In fact, the investigation which is still underway. But now you have the Vice President of the country calling for clarity on this entire issue, as the inquiry committee is yet to once again put out any statement on this entire issue. Sardar R.P. Singh, a significant point being made by the Vice President here. The Vice President is echoing the sentiment of the nation, saying that it is high time that the inquiry committee that has been formed by the Supreme Court comes clean on this entire issue.
Well, it's very important that if the Supreme Court takes initiative, they should conclude that subject also. I mean, if it's not completed, then it raises a lot of questions on the Supreme Court itself.
Sardar R.P. Singh, because many are also arguing that the longer it takes, it prevents a criminal investigation to be carried out. And perhaps some also indicating that are you basically trying to give some sort of a cover fire to Justice Yashwant Verma, and what kind of messaging that is being done?
In their internal matter, they also need to do it quick in a time-bound fashion, because justice delayed is justice denied also. Whatever inquiry report is, that should be made public as soon as possible, and initiative or Supreme Court itself.
Well, thank you very much, Sardar RPC, for joining us on this broadcast. We'll play out that response once again, because this is for the first time from the highest office of the country. You have a very important, a pertinent point that has been made by the Vice President. This at a time when there is no clarity, there is no answer coming in from the inquiry committee as to how long perhaps it's going to take for the investigation to conclude, and whether at all they're going to recommend any sort of a criminal investigation to be carried out, keeping in mind that unaccounted cash was recovered from the residence of a sitting judge. Listen into what the Vice President had to say.
Let me take incidents that are most recent. They are dominating our minds. An event happened on the night of 14th and 15th of March in New Delhi, at the residence of a judge. For 7 days, no one knew about it. It was only on 21st March, disclosure by a newspaper, that people of the country were shocked as never before. We had input from authoritative source, the Supreme Court of India, and the input indicated culpability. Input did not lead to doubt that something was amiss. It is now over a month, even if it is can of worms, even if there are skeletons in the cupboard. Time to blow up the can. Time for its lid to go out, and time for the cupboard to collapse. Let the worms